just prepared a question. We've seen that in the last 2 to 3 years, the question's for either of you, both of you actually, that government elected officials have used their own personal gain at the cost of Canadian citizens. So they've had investments in things and they've promoted them. We've seen it in at a federal and provincial level. So how can you convince us today or ensure us that if you get elected, your personal and or business interests will not conflict with the interests of the city of Vaughan?
You know, I think we got to be a little bit more transparent. I talk about it. You know, I slowly talk about all the businesses that I've been involved in. Most of them were acquisitions and bought, sold, all that. I think we need to talk and tell people where we are involved. You know, I think it's important that when someone runs an office, that there is some sort of success. And success that they have that success of running a business. And you know, they need to say, okay, listen, I've done well, I'm gonna put it aside. And that's what I'm prepared to do. I've done it already, I put it aside. I'm not involved in any of my businesses right now. Thank God I got some good partners, right? So I think there's more transparency on that end. You should not be running, you know what's funny? People ask me a lot, they're like, why are you running? My partners go, you're crazy, what are you running for? Like, they're gonna find things and I said, you know what? I've done well. I'm happy. I'm in my mid-40s. I want to get back, I want to fight for the people. I want to change it and fight for the people. I keep saying it and I mean it. But there's got to be more transparency. We need to tell people, listen, you know, and that's where it is with my senior home living, all my investments and stuff. It's not here in Vaughan. My office is here, but not my investments. So you know, we got to keep that conflict away. You know, getting elected and trying to rid yourself, I guess it's a distasteful thing. And you know, you take a look at some of the past people who've been elected, they never ran a business. And they didn't have too much success, but they did knocking on those doors and telling people they're gonna levitate and do all the funny stuff, and people went out and vote for them. So, you know, there's gotta be more track record and more transparency on that end, so it's important.
So we've heard all of the issues in your platform and what you're going to do to fix the place, fix Vaughan. What makes you, as a resident of Vaughan, excited about waking up in the morning living in Vaughan?
You know, you look at Vaughan right now, it's a fast-growing city, very fast-growing city. And, you know, I always love the tough tasks in life. How can I direct this city to be, you know, so there is no traffic, so people can actually move from one part of the city to another, right? Where the gratification saying, wow, DeSantis really cut down on crime. You know, these are big issues. And if, you know, people say, why, again, to, you know, my statement about why I wanted to run, I'm okay, the gratification, walking down the street, people pointing and saying, that's the guy that actually said he was gonna do it and he did it. That, to me, you can't put $1. There ain't no boosters over there, I'll tell you right now. The gratification is unbelievable. It really is, it really is. You know, so we can do a lot of good things, and I think I can. I got some great ideas. I like to always take a look and step out of the box. You know, I think this city can be, it's a shining armor. People look at Vaughan, if you step away, people that look from out of Vaughan and look like, got some great business entrepreneurs over here. We got some very wealthy people done very, very well here. You know what I mean? So let's use that talent. I know that, you know, we gotta bump heads a little with developers, but if we can use the developers in a nice way, not use them in a bad way, in a nice way. Look, if they want to develop, great, but they got to give back to the people first, and that's what it is. And I don't see enough of that. They got to give back. They want to develop, got to give back. Help in infrastructure, help on the road, help on the ramp on Langstaff, help out on 2 outputs going on 400. By the way, I just said Stephen Del Duca, I know he's listening to this. You had that opportunity to do this, like to go up and make a video and say, I'm going to do this. It's distasteful, you know. And now I know that's what it is. I think we can do something very good.
In 2017, the Board of Trade Country Club was acquired by RGF Real Estate Fund. That's a 290-acre piece of property that's being set for development. I want to know under both your platforms, what type of housing, what type of zoning, what type of urban sprawl we might be seeing in the next few years being developed in there. top of that, I want to add that traffic is already so bad on Islington, Langstaff, predominantly Highway 7, from 4 to 5. We're already seeing a gridlock.
I used to golf there a lot until I decided to get political. Now I can't golf that much because I'm campaigning. When I heard about them selling that, I thought it was terrible. You know, green is important for me, green space. You know, so I know that has there just been an acquisition? I think there was just an acquisition there where they're not going ahead with development for right now. That's what I'm hearing.
It's on pause, but it can resume at any time.
Yeah, so they're gonna have a hard time with me because people really enjoy that golf course. Imagine you're gonna do that with the National. Imagine you're gonna do that with all these other golf courses. You know, it's part of your community. And you take a look in the map. I was just looking at it the other day, and I see a beautiful green space over there. I'm gonna tell you, they're gonna have a hard time if we're gonna even move ahead with development. That I'll tell you right now. So there's other areas we can touch. I mean, Vaughan, there's a lot of green space. You know, I've touched a little bit about that. I'd really love to keep that golf course there. So if the developer's listening to me, he's not gonna be too happy what I'm saying right now, but that's just the way it is. You know, I like the spot, so I'm not gonna even talk about development there right about now, to be quite frank. Look, when we talk about you know, development, we need to take a look at infrastructure right now. You take a look at what's happening on Highway 7. I've been saying it. You can't move from one. We all been talking. Ever since people canvassing, knocking on doors, councillors. We all know the problem. We need to take a look at infrastructure, right? So before we start talking about more development, infrastructure. So that project's gonna have a hard time in my world. I'll tell you. You know, and developers need to get involved. Get involved in there. You're making hundreds of millions of dollars, right? You can't give back a little bit. Like you're creating you create. Look, you wanna do very well. Business, great. I'm all for it. I'm all about business, but you got to get back to the people. We suffer. Imagine I come knock on their door. Hey guys, I'm gonna raise your taxes because I want to build infrastructure. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work for me. You know, so we got to give a little bit. We got to go federally, get some money federally. Got to go provincially. You know, I think Ford has it figured out with infrastructure. I think we're going to work with them on that end. Infrastructure is so huge, and that's how we're going to fix this traffic problem. There's a lot of links that are not connected. Like I said, I like to look at outside the box. How can we take a look at how can we flow? The city's not flowing. It's literally congested. I want to continue with the subway line. You know, I want to bring it all the way to Vaughan Mills. They should have never stopped boring that hole. It's so expensive to pull that out. Why would they pull that? I mean, just the decision makings that they're having, they're terrible. So you got to continue. You take a look at Toronto, one of the biggest cities all across Northern Ontario, you know, America. We don't have a subway line. It's fantastic that we connected with Toronto, but we got to continue. We got to continue the subway line. From people from one part of the city to another, that's how you're going to stop that.
For both candidates here, these young gentlemen brought up a good point about the Board of Trades, and we all love the Board of Trades. One of the jewels of our community, and the reason why a lot of people moved around here because that attracted it. So to take that away from our community is like a dagger in our heart. So what I want to know is, what do you think of Corella's backdoor deal about approving that? Because the way it's been done is not correct. What would you do at this juncture, and Danny too, stepping in, because you know the whole community at large is against this. What would you do, or what would you say to Corella right now, or councillors coming into the position, hopefully that we get a new councillor?
Talking about the Board of Trade?
Yeah, and the way the deal was approved, and the residents, first of all, when they were talking, they were doing it during the day when everybody worked and they couldn't attend, and then they didn't send out notices like ahead of time.
I'm gonna tell you something. I didn't really want to go this far, but I'm gonna talk about something that I want to implement if I'm the mayor. Just because if I'm elected mayor, that doesn't mean that everything I say goes, right? Because the people are the ones that come and go. We want to get the people more involved. In each community, they're going to have areas. So for instance, the Board of Trade, what I want to do is create a portal where people can actually vote. If it's a big decision, like the Board of Trade, the people are going to have access, just like they're doing online voting right now. They're going to vote about that, saying, hey, we're going to do this development, the Board of Trade. Guess who's going to vote? Guess who's going to make the decision? Just because I'm mayor, I'm not going to make the decision. The people are going to make this decision. And it's the right thing to do. We're going to create this portal, and it's going to be big decisions. So when I make that final decision, I say, well, 60% of people voted for it. The people voted for it. It's not about me. It's about the people. What I need to do is to bring my rules, what I want to do, implement them, right? And allow the people to make that vote.
And how about the suppressing information to the public? There's been a lot of information that has been suppressed, but this city council has kept the community very serious.
I love that question. That is such a great question. City of Vaughan has it's a great question. City of Vaughan has channels where we can watch, councilors speak, mayors speak, and we're going to make it where we're going to encourage business owners that they're going to have their TV instead of having CP24, what's happening in the city of Toronto. I want to see what happens in Vaughan. I want people to hear, so it's transparent, and people can get that while they're having their cannoli, while they're having their coffee in the morning, right? No, but that's what it is. So let's do that. Let's educate the people what we're talking about in city council. There's no backdoor deals. Let's do it. And by the way, it's good for any sort of news. If there's something happening with weather, just like they're playing CP24. What? And with all due respect, we're in Vaughan. Why are we caring about what happens in the city of Toronto? Okay, so that's what I also want to do. Those are two areas. I like that.
A couple of things if I can, but about the YRT on Highway 7, so it's talking about traffic. Why can't we have them use the bus lanes that were made instead of taking up the right lanes, the right live lanes, and causing more traffic?
To be honest with you, I want to implement something very special for Vaughan. I'm sure that every single person been in one of those lights and we stay there. Actually, funny enough, I was there the other day, I shut my engine off. I go, let's see how long I'm staying here for. People are annoyed with these lights. They're staying there forever, idling. It's a terrible thing. So there is a system. It's a little expensive, but I think the investment is the right way. And I think we can be the leader as Vaughan. We're very smart, intelligent people here. And it's sometimes you got to invest a little. Smart lights is the right way to go, especially in the night when no one's around. Let's kind of figure it out. Let's go that way, right? So I think it's the right thing to do.
Okay, I'm told we're short on time, so